As time goes by, technologies advance, and with that, the ways of learning are transformed. Questions then arise: what are the current methods of learning English, and what are the future prospects? Today, we will explore the main methods of teaching English. Whether you are a teacher, a student, or just curious, this video is for you. Our central theme is: how will AI change the way we learn? But before that, let's dive into the methods of the past. Let's start with the grammar translation method, which dominated language teaching for centuries and was the first attempt to organize an ideal method for teaching and learning a foreign language. Imagine yourself in the 18th century Europe. Schools relied on methods used to teach Latin and Greek. The focus? Translating texts and memorizing grammatical rules. This method focuses on that. Although effective for reading and writing, oral communication was secondary. This method may seem outdated today, but it was revolutionary in its time. Fun fact, until the early 20th century, it was common for modern language classes to also follow this approach. Later, at the end of the 19th century, a new wind began to blow in classrooms. Franz Hahn and Maximilian Berlitz were visionaries who brought the direct method to life. Imagine a class where not a word is spoken in your native language, only in the language you are learning. A method that focuses on total immersion in the target language. The big innovation here is that the language is taught directly without translation. Learning occurred naturally, like a child learning to speak. Grammar was absorbed intuitively, and oral communication was the focus. This method paved the way for a more dynamic and interactive learning. Next is the audiolingual method, emerged during World War II, with the need for American soldiers to learn the languages of their allies and enemies. Inspired by B.F. Skinner's theories on behaviorism, this method focuses on repetition and intensive training. The audiolingual method prioritizes the ability to speak and understand the language. Learning is based on the repetition of linguistic patterns until they become automatic, promoting the memorization of phrases and grammatical structures. Ready-made dialogues and repetition exercises are central. Students practice through drills, repeating phrases and sentences out loud. Immediate correction of errors and positive reinforcement for correct responses are fundamental, following behaviorist principles. Although effective for accuracy, many consider this method to be monotonous and mechanical. But for the soldiers and diplomats of the time, it was an indispensable tool. Now let's hop to the current methods. We'll start with the task-based learning method. This method focuses on completing meaningful tasks that mirror real-life situations. Students learn the language while performing practical tasks, making learning more relevant and motivating. This helps developing communication skills that are immediately applicable outside the classroom. The communicative approach is another popular modern technique. It focuses on using the language to communicate ideas effectively, prioritizing fluency over accuracy. Students are encouraged to speak, listen, read, and write interactively and meaningfully. Grammar is taught in the context of communication, and mistakes are seen as a natural part of the learning process. Last but not least, there's the very recent gamification in language learning. This method uses game elements, such as points, levels, rewards, and challenges, to motivate students. In Duolingo, for example, you'll earn points by completing lessons, advance in levels as you learn more words, and receive rewards for hitting daily goals. Now that we have gone through the many methods of learning, one question remains: how will AI change the way we learn languages? It's important to remember that AI can adjust the content and learning activities according to the student's individual level and progress, allowing for more efficient and personalized learning. AI systems can also identify specific gaps in the student's knowledge and recommend exercises or materials to address these areas of writing and reading skills. Also, virtual assistants like Duolingo or Babbel use AI to guide students through personalized lessons, answering questions and offering continuous support. But what about speaking and listening? Well, for conversation practice, AI-based chatbots can simulate both written and spoken conversations with native speakers, providing students with an opportunity to practice the language in a safe and non-judgmental environment. And an AI integrated into virtual reality can create immersive environments where students practice the language in real-life contexts, such as shopping or traveling in a foreign country. Similarly, the Rosetta Stone method uses AI to analyze students' speech and provide feedback on pronunciation, helping to develop precise oral skills. Today, we discussed how AI is revolutionizing language learning, from personalized learning to creating immersive virtual environments. The integration of AI in education represents a great opportunity to transform the way we learn, making language learning more accessible, efficient, personalized, and even fun.